You're not going to believe what the Department of Justice did on Friday. They're supporting the Second Amendment. Stick by, you're going to want to watch this. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Guns and Gadgets and I am Jared, where we are now the premier source for Second Amendment news that the mainstream media won't touch. And today I have a major update for you. The Trump administration's Department of Justice just made a bold move in the fight for gun rights by asking the United States Supreme Court to strike down multiple gun control laws across the country. This could be one of the most important pro-2A actions we've seen from the DOJ in a very, very long time. So buckle up, we're going to break it down, tell you what's happening and what's at stake, and how it could affect you in your state. On Friday, July 19th, 2025, Trump's Department of Justice filed a legal brief with the United States Supreme Court. It's a case against Hawaii, but they're asking the court to take down a bunch of gun control laws in places like California, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and Hawaii, and any other one that has passed a similar law, Massachusetts. Now, these aren't small-time ordinances, they're big-time state restrictions on firearms that courts in those states have upheld over the years. But now the Trump DOJ is saying, nope, these violate the Constitution, and it's time for SCOTUS to put an end to it. Yeah, the Department of Justice. And they're doing it using the Bruin standard, something we've talked a lot about here on this channel. And that standard demands that any modern gun law has to be consistent with our nation's history and tradition. And if it's not rooted in something that the founders would have recognized or allowed, it's unconstitutional, period. Now, this is a full court press. Trump's DOJ isn't just going after one or two state laws. They're saying a wide range of so-called safety regulations do not pass constitutional muster. We're talking about bans on certain types of carry, magazine limits, purchase restrictions, and age-based rules. And their main argument is that there is no historical precedent from the founding era for these kinds of laws. And guess what? They're 100% right. Most of these laws were cooked up in the last 30 years. They weren't around in 1791 when the Second Amendment was ratified and adopted, and they definitely weren't around when the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868. Now, if Bruin means what it says, and so far courts are treating it like the real deal, then this could wipe out a big chunk of anti-gunners' playbooks. In fact, John Sauer, who's the United States Solicitor General, he wrote this in this case, quote, "The United States has a substantial interest in the preservation of the right to keep and bear arms and in the proper interpretation of the Second Amendment." He continued, "From the earliest days of the Republic, individuals have been free to carry firearms on private property unless the property owner directs otherwise." And in the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin decision, the Supreme Court, confirmed that restrictions on carrying firearms for lawful purposes such as self-defense violate the Second Amendment unless they fit within a discernible historical tradition. Yet, after Bruin, 5 states, including Hawaii, inverted the long-standing presumption and enacted a novel default rule under which individuals may carry firearms on private property only if the owner provides express authorization, such as posting a conspicuous sign allowing guns. Now, violations constitute misdemeanors punishable by up to a year in prison. And because most property owners don't post signs either allowing or forbidding guns, Hawaii's default rule functions as a near-complete ban on public carry, as it does in the other states as well. A person carrying a handgun for self-defense commits a crime by entering a mall, a gas station, a convenience store, a supermarket, a restaurant, a coffee shop, or even a parking lot. Yet, the Ninth Circuit upheld that rule against the Second Amendment challenge. So the DOJ asked the High Court to crush those laws as unconstitutional. And let's look at the bigger picture here. Remember when the Supreme Court said that bump stocks aren't machine guns in the Cargill case, the Garland v. Cargill case? That was a big win. Well, in July, the Department of Justice told a lower court that the government is not going to appeal the decision that says banning handgun purchases for 18 to 20-year-olds. It says it was unconstitutional and it violated the Bruin standard. And the U.S. DOJ said, we're not going to appeal that to the Supreme Court. But then in Bondi versus Vanderstock, they upheld the ATF's ability to regulate ghost gun kits. So it hasn't been a complete clean sweep for us on our side yet, but this is something that's kind of unprecedented. This has never happened before. This latest move by the Trump DOJ is trying to fix that. And they're trying to bring consistency and clarity on how the courts treat gun laws. And that means following the actual text and history of the Constitution, not whatever some anti-gun bureaucrat, sad soy boy thinks is reasonable. And look, this is important. If this strategy works, it could force these blue states to stop playing games with our rights. It shouldn't even be a thing anyway, but no more bans, no more unconstitutional delays, and no more treating law-abiding gun owners like criminals. And before I go any further, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, it's CMMG. They support this channel and have for years. I bring all of their tools like ARs and PCCs to classes when I need to go train up and to sharpen my skills, or if I just want something reliable that's built to last. Now, CMMG's got me covered. Check them out. I've used their gear. I stand behind it 100%. And don't forget to check out their YouTube channel where they discuss new products that you can also inquire about. And, G&G 10 saves you as well. Guys, what does this movement by the DOJ mean for us, the average gun owner? Well, first, it means that the Supreme Court could, very soon, take a hard look at state-level gun control and, if they do the right thing, dismantle it. Now, second, I know, first off, everybody's saying, well, they haven't done it right in here, in this case. I get it, guys. Believe me, I'm on the same page. Now, second, it shows that when the DOJ is staffed by people who actually respect the Constitution, things start moving in the right direction. And third, it's a reminder that elections have consequences. The makeup of this DOJ matters. The makeup currently of the Supreme Court matters. And if we want our rights protected, we need people in office who will actually fight for them and who will follow the Constitution, not fight against it. Or autopen. And let's be real, this fight is far from over. States like California and New Jersey will absolutely push back. They've already vowed to defend this in courts of law, but this time they're on the defense, and that's where we want them. This is how we restore freedom, one case at a time, which is why supporting groups that support us is important. Groups that have actual wins in courts are those that are worth supporting. And if the Supreme Court takes this up, we could be looking at another Bruin-level victory that resets the map of gun laws in America. Now, the anti-gunners know what's at stake, and they are panicking all weekend long. All the little things where I follow them on, I'm shocked that they haven't blocked me on any of them yet. They're panicking. So stay sharp and stay informed. And most of all, guys and gals, we have to stay in this fight. You can do that by subscribing to this channel. I'll keep you in the loop the entire way, not on just this filing, but on everything that happens. And if you got value out of this video, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up and share the video as well. We're getting close to 1 million subscribers here on Guns and Gadgets, and I want you to be part of the fight as we push forward with truth, freedom, and the Constitution. If you want to keep up with every 2A case, every bill, and every victory or loss, I've got you covered right here. Thanks again to CMMG for sponsoring the video and the channel, and thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant, and stay free. But remember, the duty of a true patriot is to protect his country from its government. Take care, y'all.